I was born in the dirt. Never had no home. In the places I live. Don't want to know. If you wanna hit evil.
I don't like bullshit.
All right. Welcome back to the Church of the Tonepriest. Look at what we've got here. You know what it is? Can anyone figure it out? Of course you can't, because I don't even know what the hell this thing is. Actually, I do. This is going to be the inaugural episode of Pimp My Guitar Amp.
This is crack, like the 80s is back, boy, I tell you.
Oh, yes, indeed. So, a little history here. If any of you have been watching my previous videos, you're probably thinking that the Tonepriest has no idea what he's doing, and you know, I couldn't fault you for that opinion. I did go to tech school for electronics for a couple of years, and basically learned how to do algebra again, and you know, figure out how to solve for X using Ohm's law, 6 ways to Sunday.
Are you ready for your cowbellpedia 60 seconds of fame?
Yes, Quizmaster.
Simplify 1 over 2x plus 1 divided by 1 over...
A little later in life, I worked several years as an electrical tech, manufacturing, what do you call it, industrial vehicles for big utility companies, etc. You know who they are. Can you hear me now? So, I've played with electrons off and on all my life.
Never play with wires inside or outside. And if you write in, I'll send you this comic book full of ways to use electricity safely.
And then when I got my first tube amp, which is this guy right over here, I wanted to learn how to bias it without killing myself. So I found an Uncle Doug video on the old YouTube.
Well, bonjour to all you amp fiends out there in YouTube land.
And then, you know, I kept watching his videos, and, you know, you watch his videos, he makes it look easy.
And the white collar team will start things off.
It's slammer time!
Yeah, and with him is his protege, milk money thief, little Mickey Milken. Right you are, Ken, and there they go. Oh!
And he was like, yeah, I can do that. So instead of doing what a normal person would do, getting a broken Fender Champ and, you know, fixing that, I was like, heck, why don't I just build one from scratch?
Study hard and stay in school, or you'll wind up like this big-eared, shiny-suited crackhead.
And so I built my first Fender Champ from scratch. And, well, move forward a little bit in the story. What we've got here is, again, this is Pimp My Guitar Amp. We took a Raven RG20. One of these guys right here. And what we're going to do is turn that into a Tweed Fender Harvard clone. Yes, indeed we are. Or that's what we're going to try to do. The reason I do that is, you know, to get a chassis and a cabinet from like Mojo Tone or whatever, it's going to cost you $300 to $400 or even more. Whereas this, heck, 5 minutes on Craigslist, 40 bucks later, boom! Here we are. So I put this sucker together. Let me flip her over. You're probably sick of looking at all this shit. So I got about 95% of the way there, as you can see here. And at that time I started doing a little more reading and studying about this stuff. And I figured out that I don't know what I don't know. And so I put this on the back burner so I could study some more and figure out some more stuff. The biggest illumination was, you know, the grounding scheme, you know, building a friggin' truck for National Grid.
But you worry about things falling on you all the time. You worry about slipping and falling. You don't want to fall down. So we're putting some lightning protection on. If we get a lightning strike in the area, that piece of equipment on that bracket sends that directly to ground.
You know, you just screw your ground wire into the chassis and you're good to go. You don't need to worry about, you know, noise and stuff like that. So yeah, this has been on the back burner, as you can probably tell by all the dust. It's been hanging out for a little bit. But I think it's time. The time has come to get this sucker up and running. I mean, we're almost there, right? So a few things off the bat. I want to fix this. That's, obviously, hack jobs are us. This is problematic. I mean, I love using open barrel crimpers, but yeah, I mean, this guy fell off. So we're going to solder those in. Yeah, this is not a good place for this, obviously. Going to redo the grounding scheme. Going to check our work. Check the output transformer. Make sure it's, the right lead is going to the right tube from the phase inverter, so we don't get horrible squealing. But yeah, I think we should be able to bang this out pretty quick and get some noise out of it. I mean, yeah, not bad looking, right? Not bad at all. A little bias pot in here. Oh yeah, one of my favorite things to do. Selectable, point it towards the tube, you have tube rectification. Point it away from the tube, you get solid state rectification. How fun is that, right? Am I right? Am I right? Alright, enough talk. Enough talk. Let's get her done. This is what the tonepriest listens to while he's building Fender Harvard clones.
I just know I don't like Sinead O'Connor.
Anywho, so let's see here. What are we doing here? We got our new equipment grounding conductor. Gonna use a spade terminal and get that in focus. Anyway, crimped it, and then for double protection, like if you're gonna commit the super fun sin of lust with a sketchy partner. Soldered it as well. So I think we're going to recycle the ground thing right here that Raven provided us. And then also making sure that this is longer than the other two leads. Apparently that might be some kind of weird code or whatever. Even though this is not a dwelling or a houseboat or a motorhome, we still like the NEC and all that junk. I guess that's if this were to like come loose, come loose, lock nuts, and fall out. These two conductors would unattach first, and you'd still be grounded, and that's safety and safety third, I guess. When I first started doing these things, one of my online mentors, his opinion was to wire through a double pole, double throw switch from the wall first, and then go into the fuse. And the reasoning behind that is, regardless, like if your middle prong broke and you put the plug in upside down or backwards, whichever way the plug's in, when you shut the amp off, both sides are, opened from the circuit. That way, if you're, you blow a fuse and you're coming in here and you're still plugged in, there's no chance of getting electrocuted. It seems like the more popular consensus is to go to the fuse first and then into the switch, because if there's a short to the chassis, the current's not gonna see the fuse, and then you're relying on the fuse of your, wherever you're playing, a house club, Coliseum. But this amp's for me. It's gonna be my around the house kick around amplifier. So yeah, we don't care about that kind of stuff. We trust the fuses in this 130-year-old Victorian that we're living in. So I feel totally safe in doing that. Okay, I think I'm going to shorten these as well. There's no need to have this excessive length here. So we'll button that up and check in after that. Alright, so I get the door shut because my neighbor's having a barbecue and they're making a bunch of noise. But if I get this thing finished anytime soon, they're going to learn the definition of noise.
Some people in the Stapleton neighborhood say what's happening over at Dick's Sporting Goods Park is not music to their ears.
Anyway, that's all hooked up. Good to go. I think I'm going to replace this guy because, we got 4 extra terminals that we're not using, and I actually have one of these guys here. So I'm going to replace that, I'm going to replace that with that. And then I'm going to I got some isolation washer thingies, non-conductive isolation washers. I'm gonna fix this this mess right here. Yeah, I don't know what the tonepriest was thinking when he did that, but gonna isolate that so we don't get ground loops and all that other good stuff. And then we'll see what else we need to do. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm not gonna replace that. It's already installed. You know, how much does a switch cost? All right, so moving on to these guys here in the isolation of the groundingness. Gotta have good grounds. Just ask Merlin Blenko. Alright, I think we're gonna use this layout for our input jacks here. Let's get everything labeled, tip sleeve, ground. That's how we like it. Here's the blabbityblad.com if you're interested. So we're gonna do that. Let's get a 1M, what is that, 1 milli? 1 milliohm resistor, I'm assuming. Yeah, so not seeing that on the schematic, but anybody see a 1 meg anywhere? But seems like a good idea. So we'll add a little of this modern technology to our Harvard circuit clone. See what happens. It's the worst that can happen. I mean, yeah, see what happens. Actually, I changed my mind. We're going to use this layout. It's for a Vibrolux, but same thing. It just vibrates. Yeah, we're going to use this one. Here's the widgetmahuja.com.org/US. Mr. Helping Hands lost a limb. It's alright. Do a little surgery. Be good as new. Uh-oh. Can he do it? It's the tone priest, not the tone doctor. You never want to see a priest if you're at the hospital, am I right?
It was never my intention to offend you. I would like to sin no more, and to avoid the near occasions of sin. But I can't.
Oh. Ah, bless you, doctor. Surgery was a success. Let's continue. Alright, so I put my thinking cap on here and used the 2 brain cells that still exist here, and we get our cathode bias resistor, and then the bypass cap. That should be going to ground, but they grounded it at the jacks here, and then the jack gets grounded to the chassis. What I'm going to do is we're just going to ground this separately, and we're going to, I already cut the holes, so these are going to be isolated from the chassis, the sleeve is, and then we'll make a separate ground. We'll take a page out of Merlin's book, and these will have separate grounds, and hopefully that'll do good things as far as noise is concerned. Alright, so took us a second, but we got to the bottom of this. We're alright. Alright, we got the new jacks installed. These are the self-grounding jacks. I don't know what the tone priest was thinking when he wired the shielded cables up, because he didn't bother to stick one end of the shield to ground anywhere, but whatever. I'm not going to fuss with that now. Vacation's just about over, and kind of want to get this done today, you know, so I can bang out some awesome AC/DC riffs before I have to go back to the silly day job. But also, you know, when I did this is like a snapshot in time of my skill set when I built this thing, so you know, if I fix it up, that kind of defeats the whole snapshot theory, right? Okay, that theory totally doesn't hold water, but yeah, I'm just being lazy. If it's excessively noisy, we'll go back and sort it out. But yeah, I'm gonna double check all my work and gotta get these guys grounded, but I think we're almost there. I hope we're almost there. Can you be quiet now, please? Actually, now that I think about it, I am going to ground the cathode of the first tube and the input jacks to this lug right here that Raven has provided us. I mean, you know, if it was good enough for Leo, it's good enough for me. Am I right? See? That's how Leo did it. You know, how bad could it be? I mean, if it's horrible, we can always fix it later. Something we can always do, fix it later. We're good at that. Okay, drilled a hole so I can add one of those guys to ground the cathodes on the power tubes. What I did before was ridiculous. I had all sorts of stuff all grounded to the same point, like I was wiring up a Verizon truck.
This guy up here with me, Joe, he's a second-class lineman.
But can't seem to find my Dremel, so we're going to scrape the paint off a little bit so we can get a good connection to the metal of the chassis. We're going to do that the old-fashioned way with files. Stay tuned. Alright, so I checked my work and everything looks pretty kosher here. Obviously, I would have done things a lot differently now than I would have then if I knew then what I know now. But it should work regardless. So I think we're just going to dam the torpedoes and fire it up on the Variac and see what happens. And then hopefully it works. And if it works, we will you know, see how it sounds, and if it needs some changes, if there's a bunch of noise or whatever, you know, and you know, maybe we can sort out these grounds, make them a little bit nicer. Grounding scenario, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, but so the tonepriest is going to have some dinner. That way, in case he burns down the house, at least, you know, he'll have a full stomach. So, something to look forward to. Shit's about to get serious.
My calculations are correct. You're gonna see some serious shit.
Done.